Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So it's just me again, it's 1 AM currently and just watching the Defenders about to go to bed. There's a developer update talking about the start of Season 6, which starts next Thursday. Now this developer update goes over a lot of things on how Season 6 is going to be different from Season 5 and a big change as well to Control, which is something that I'm very excited for. We'll explain as we go along. But in this video, I want to start at the start of the season. Let's talk about placements first. Jeff Kaplan went over this stuff in pretty basic detail, but gives us good insight. There's still going to be 10 placement games. However, what the placement system MMR Matchmaker used to do before is when you got your initial rank after your placements, you'd be placed 200, 300 SR below where they thought you should be, just so you can have a bit of a win streak to sort of pick up pace and eventually work up to where you should be. This isn't going to be the case as much anymore. They're going to dial back on this, so where you place should be where you deserve to be. In inverted commas, should. So that's something to bear in mind for future stuff. They'll be upset if you get like a, shit placement. It isn't the be all and end all. It's not set in stone, but it's just something to bear in mind for future stuff as well. This brings us on to the major point as well, that seasons are going to be a lot shorter. Instead of 3 months, they're going to be 2. I can't actually remember the start of this season with much detail at all. It kind of all blurs into one, and the 3 months is a long time to have a season going on for. It also kind of makes it so you can take breaks, I suppose, so you can have a full season off, if that makes sense. And it really does just increase the pace of the game, I guess, to an extent, because seasons could go on for far too long, and then you get to the end of a season like we have been over the past few weeks, where people are just burnt out, not really playing anymore, so this is a major thing as well. The big news, we kind of spoke about this in the Q&A session with Scott Mercer that we had, where skill rating decay is actually going to change just a little bit, not as much as we'd hoped. Instead of 7 games that you have to play in 7 days, it has to be 5. Now, this is a step in the right direction. They want to make sure that there's a decay system in the game so that they don't have high tier players doing things that they don't want to. But ideally, I would have liked to have seen the threshold lifted a little bit more than, say, Diamond. Maybe Masters. I'm not entirely sure where I would place it in particular. But right now, the decay system puts me off playing now and again because I don't want to ever feel like I have to play competitive Overwatch. I know that Overwatch is kind of my job, but you kind of get the point that when something feels forced, that you have to do something, it ultimately isn't as enjoyable. There's also a couple of bits and pieces to do with competitive points, the amount being adjusted based on the fact that the seasons are shorter, and also that higher tiered matches are going to take a little bit longer to matchmake just so that these games don't feel as unbalanced as they sometimes do. But the main thing that I really do want to highlight here is that control maps are getting a bit of a major change. Now, we have seen over time the best of 5 competitive sense go to best of 3s in tournaments. Apex was the first to start. We've done a video on this in the past, that the best of 5 control maps are very long and can also give some one-sided results, simply because one team might be very good on certain maps. So when these maps resurface in the map rotation of best of 5, they can get a bit of an advantage from that. It's a minor one, but it's still an advantage nonetheless. Well, now, competitive control is going to be a best of 3, just like in quick play. The problem that I see with that is some matches are going to be incredibly short, but then again, they can be as well on the likes of Volskaya, on King's Row, Dorado even, if maps don't get completed, for example, and then the checkpoint is beaten with ease. So I really like this change. I very much dislike Oasis because it is one of those game modes that the other time flows on for quite a time, and ultimately it's just not fun to play when these games just go on and on and on. So I'm really excited to see this in play. It really does feel that the Blizzard developers are having their fingers on the pulse, they're reacting to changes accordingly. There's a real sense of, we're trying this out, it might not work, but we want to try it anyway. But I do feel that this is better than Blizzard saying, oh, this is what we know, this is how we're going to go about it, we're always right. But this is just a quick video that I wanted to do to go over the changes, to let you know well in advance what's going to happen by the time that next Thursday rolls around. Thank you very much for watching. Do let us know what you think of these changes. Is there anything that you would have expected to have seen that you didn't already? But until next time, take care. We'll see you then. I'm off to bed. Good night.